All right, everyone, welcome back to the Barca Media YouTube channel. What we are going to be doing in this video is going to be like some sort of a laid back type of video. I'm not going to be editing this video whatsoever. Like, I'm not going to have hella cuts or like images. It's just going to be me and you, right? Just you and me talking, and that's basically it. And I'm going to be answering your guys' questions because I did make a post about 3 days ago, and I was saying how I was going to be answering 25 questions. And so now we're here. Now we're going to be talking about the questions that you do have and that you posted within that post. So I'm going to be starting with Matthew Mohanil. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but he has asked, among Coutinho, Griezmann, and Dembele, which player would you consider as a flop or a waste of money? Or who was the most hyped but did not show up to their expectations the most? So out of Coutinho, Dembele, and Griezmann, I would say that the biggest flop would be Philippe Coutinho because he is the most expensive signing, and I just do not think that Coutinho is going to be able to fit within this Barcelona squad because, like, unlike Dembele, right, Coutinho has actually been available throughout this season, but he has rarely been used. Like under Koeman and Xavi, he has rarely been used. Like it's clear that Coutinho is just not meant to play in this Barcelona squad at the moment because we have Xavi, we have Nico, we have Pedri, Frankie de Jong, Busquets, and so many great midfielders. And I just don't think that right now is a good time for Coutinho to emerge into this Barcelona squad, and that's basically it. I think that Dembele still has a shot to be a really big time player for Barcelona, and especially for these next 3 or 4 years. I would also say that Coutinho is a bigger flop than Antoine Griezmann because unlike Coutinho, Griezmann provided goals and assists. He brought goals in very important moments under Ronald Koeman's era, like in the previous season. So Griezmann has showed up. Like he was involved around 30 goals in the previous season, and he did well. I'm not going to say that he did amazing, right? I don't think that what he did was worth 111 million euros, but he did better than Coutinho, which is why I would say that Coutinho was the biggest flop. So now we're going to be starting with Moises Messi, and he has asked, is it possible to see you go to the Camp Nou in the near future? So yes, I am going to be going to the Camp Nou next year on April 2022. And I'm going to go see Barcelona versus Sevilla. It should be very, very exciting. I'm going to go with my father. I'm probably also going to be seeing Alex. I don't know if you guys know Blaugrana Planet, but he does have a YouTube channel. He does have a very big Instagram following. So I'm going to be going around April, and hopefully I get to see Gavi, Nico, Frankie de Jong. I get to see Xavi on the bench, and it's going to be something crazy because I don't see Barcelona every year. I don't see Barcelona every weekend, like in person. And to see them in person finally is going to be something very special, and I'm going to be making a vlog. Okay, so moving on to question number 3, and that is going to be Sean Babulal. I hope I said that right. So he has asked, what do you think is really wrong with Riqui Puig? Because it looks like Xavi doesn't really trust on him either. So I know it does seem like Riqui Puig is not being trusted, but I think that what people are really are getting very confused on when it comes to Riqui Puig's like situation is, I think that we're just comparing Riqui Puig's like minutes to Gavi and Nico and what they're receiving, right? Because it does seem like Riqui Puig is not getting nothing compared to Gavi and Nico. But Riqui Puig did play about 30 minutes in I think it was like 2 games ago against Espanyol under Xavi Hernandez. So I think that Xavi does trust Riqui Puig. He just prefers Nico and Gavi at this moment, and that's basically it. I think that in time, maybe in about 1 or 2 months, we're going to continue to see Riqui Puig get more consistent minutes. And so I don't think that we should throw away Riqui Puig's season yet. I think that there's still a chance that he could impress. It's just a matter of time. All right, so moving on to question number 4, and that is coming from Conquer Squirrel. Do you play video games, and what's your favorite video game series? So I don't play video games right now because I'm just so busy with like life and stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm not as young as you guys. I'm not like 15, 16, 17 years old. I'm 23 years old. yeah, I just don't have time to play video games. I used to play a lot of video games. Like I used to play like 9 hours a day. When I had my PS3, PS4, but I just don't play. I have school. I have YouTube. I want to take care of this channel, and that comes with a lot because it comes with a lot of planning and organizing. I just don't have time to play video games. But my favorite video game will forever be FIFA. Like I know that you guys play Fortnite and like some like Minecraft. I don't know what you guys play these days, but my favorite game is FIFA. I only play FIFA. I'm not going to be playing any other game. I am thinking about making a Twitch channel, but I need to find time. Like it's really hard to find that time to hop on the PS5 and play FIFA. But yeah, I like FIFA. I just don't play video games right now, but hopefully in the future I can. All right, so now moving on to question number 5, and that is Shut Up Mikey. And he has asked, what is your biggest fear about Barcelona and its future? My biggest fear about Barcelona right now and its future is that I hope that this Barcelona club takes advantage of this golden generation that we are seeing, because if we don't, I would be very disappointed. That's my biggest fear. I don't want to go through this Gavi, Nico, Frankie, Pedri, Ansu, Dembele, Alejandro Balde, Eric Garcia, Sergio Dest era and not maximize this opportunity. Like I want to win the treble. I want to win the Champions League. I want to win 5 La Ligas within this next 8 years. I want to maximize this golden generation, and that's how it should be done, right? Look at what happened with Belgium. Belgium hit a golden generation, but they haven't won anything. And there has been other clubs out there in Europe that went through some golden generation. Like they had great players, but they never really won anything. They never got the treble. They never won 2 Champions Leagues in 4 years. Barcelona has the capability to do that, but if we don't, I will be disappointed. Moving on to question number 5, and that is Uchenna Jr. He has stated, your thoughts on pineapple on pizza? Pineapple on pizza is amazing. I love pineapple pizza. Like if pineapple pizza with ham, or it could be like sausage, I love that type of pizza. I know a lot of friends that don't like pineapple on pizza, which is crazy. Yeah, I like pineapple. I like pizza. When you put them together, it's the best lunch, dinner, breakfast in the world. Moving on to question number 6, and this is coming from Mibayoroka James or James. He has stated, "Hey Kevin, were you a footballer yourself?" Question from James, all the way from Namibia, Africa. Okay. Okay. Hey Kevin, where's your footballer? Okay. Hey Kevin, where are you? So I used to be a footballer. I used to play yes, I used to play soccer back in high school. I used to play back during my freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, all the way until senior year. I did play varsity soccer, so I was in like the highest level in high school football. It was a lot of fun. I always used to also play for a club team. So you have like your high school team, which is like basically your international team, and then you had your club team. So I played for a certain city, which is called San Pablo here in my area, and it was fun. It was so much fun to be playing for your high school team, and then you also played for the San Pablo team. So I played soccer like twice a week. I had 2 games, 3 games a week. It was very like hectic. I think that high school soccer taught me more about football than anything else, because I was actually ingrained in it. Like I knew what it was like to be very disciplined on trying to bring results, because you had to eat well, you have to exercise well. The coaches that I had, especially my coach, right? Like he used to always be very like hard on us. Like every time we used to like walk to the field, or like walk to receive the ball or something, like we were lazy, like we didn't want to run because we're just too tired. He's like, "What are you doing? You need to get on your toes. You can't be acting like this when we have a real game. This is how it's supposed to be done. You need to be more disciplined. If you keep doing this, you're gonna have to run about 3 to 4 more laps, because we cannot allow this, not in my team." And I'm like, oh my god, like this is serious, right? So things like that, right? That type of discipline really made me like make me have like a better idea on what it's like with players today. Like I know what Guardiola's doing with the players. I know what Xavi is doing with the players. It's discipline. Like these players need to be disciplined because it brings success. And so, yeah, I used to be a footballer before. So now moving on to question number 8, and that is coming from Arif Ali. If you had a chance to buy a player for Barcelona right now, what position do you buy? A pure number 9 or a solid center back, and why? So I would say I would sign a striker. I want Haaland, I want either Adeyemi, I want Lautaro Martinez, I want any striker out there that knows how to score. We need to bring that player in because it is quite clear that right now Barcelona do not have a reliable number 9. We have Luke de Jong, but he's not what we need. We have Aguero, but he's going through some health conditions that, I don't want to really go into greater depth when it comes to Aguero's like health condition, but we can't rely on Aguero right now. Martin Braithwaite, he is not what we need. Also, he's also currently injured. And then we have Memphis Depay, who's not a real number 9, and he has shown that. Like, I think that he's more of a winger that likes to cut in and then create for one of the forwards. And so I would say that Barcelona do need a number 9. So now moving on to question number 9, and it does say here, according to AJ, he has questioned. Also, I know Barcelona has a packed midfield, and as of now, we have no room. But if you had to make an exception signing, what midfielder would you bring to the Camp Nou? Let's see. So knowing that Barcelona do have a very packed midfield, I know that it is very hard for any midfielder to come into Barcelona and like start. I think that there is one player that I know would automatically start within the starting 11 within this midfield, knowing that we have Gavi, Frankie, Pedri, and Nico Gonzalez and Busquets. It would be Kimmich. Kimmich from Bayern Munich. I would love to have a player like that in Barcelona and start in the midfield. I know that he can play in different positions, but I want to see him in the midfield because I know that he would bring the results and he would start at Barcelona. Moving on to question number 10, and this is coming from Kenny Song. How talented do you think Riqui Puig is, and do you see this situation improving under Xavi Hernandez? I think that Riqui Puig is talented. I think I already like answered this type of question before when it comes to Riqui Puig, but I think that Riqui Puig is very talented. I think that when he is at his best version, he is one of the better midfielders that Barcelona have right now. It's just that he hasn't been given the opportunity. He's not having the experience required in order for him to understand, okay, we need this type of consistency within my game in order for me to produce good results for Barcelona. So it's hard, right? Do you see his situation improving under Xavi? Yes, I think that in time we will see Riqui Puig's situation it's going to improve. I don't know if whatever he's going to deliver is going to be enough for him to be a starter within the midfield. We're just going to have to wait and see. Again, like I've said before, it's just a matter of time. Now moving on to question number 11, and it does say here from JP, and he has questioned, which country and city are you from? So the countries that I am basically from, I would split this into 3 different ones, right? Because my dad is like Italian. He's not fully Italian, but he's like 30% Italian. So I would say I'm 10% Italian. So I am Italian. I am also Salvador. I'm also Salvadorian. You can see right here the shirt. I'm literally wearing the shirt right here. Salvadorian because of my mom is Salvadorian. My dad is Salvadorian, and I was born here in the U.S. in San Francisco. So I am American, Salvadorian, and Italian. Moving on to question number 12, and we do have S. May saying, do you think Luke de Jong will get the same chance like the others, or is he just not in Xavi's plans? To be very honest, I don't think that Luke de Jong will be seeing any chance, and I think that that's only because he just moves too slow, and he can't give the pressing requirements that Xavi does demand from his front line. Like, you guys know what I mean. Like the Barcelona that we have been seeing under Xavi, he demands a lot from his players, and especially in that front 3. Like the way that we're supposed to be defending, it starts from the front, not from the back, but from the front, which is the front 3. Luke de Jong cannot bring that. So I don't see Xavi using Luke de Jong as much. Maybe about 5 minutes when Barcelona is winning like 4-5-0 at the end of the game, but that's basically it. Moving on to question number 13, and we do have Dembele asking, was letting Valverde go a mistake? No, it was not. Moving on to question number 14. Abdel Akouch has asked, what are your chances of signing Adeyemi? Surely he is our main priority along with either Christensen or Rudiger. I don't know if I said that last name right, but what are are our chances of signing Adeyemi? I would say there's a 6 out of 10 chance of us signing Adeyemi. We know that Adeyemi, he is a player that does like Barcelona. Barcelona is also interested in Karim Adeyemi. I think that with him coming to this club, it would be a great signing because we don't know if Dembele is going to be 100% fit for the rest of this season. We don't know if Ansu Fati is going to be 100% healed for the rest of this season. Having Karim Adeyemi will only strengthen our wings, right? So we need wide wingers. We need efficient wingers. Adeyemi can be that, not even be a backup, but he can also potentially maybe even be a starter at this Barcelona club if he does perform well. And we know what Adeyemi could bring. He is a very talented player. I think that he is the best player that Salzburg has developed since the emergence of Erling Haaland. That is what the fans have been saying out there in Salzburg. So I think that Adeyemi will be a great signing. Our chances I would say, is a little slim because of the financial aspect of this signing, but it's a great signing. Moving on to question number 15, and it does say here, coming from Uchenna Jr., your preferred midfield trio for the future. I would say my preferred midfield would be Pedri, Frankie, and Gavi. Moving on to question number 16, coming from CJ Emmy. What do you think about our playing style? Is it still conventional, modern, or is it far outdated because of the level of intensity and speed the modern game has brought? Also about our wingers, Dembele and Fati. Do you think they will add greatly when Try are back? I don't know what that means, but the last question is, and lastly, transfers. What players do you think we are sure to sign from January? So starting with question 1, no, there's no such thing as a style being outdated. Like, every style does work. You just have to use it correctly. You need the right players. We know Xavi's idea. We know Xavi's style. We just need the correct players, and we need the correct players with the right mentality. Like, it takes a lot to get to that point to make that style actually work in modern football. Like, it's going to work if Xavi has the right players, the wide wingers, the fast center backs, the midfielders that can create a midfield that can press, a forward that can score. The style that Xavi is going to be bringing to Barcelona, it will work. And yes, I do think that players like Ansu Fati and Dembele can build something so great at this club. I really do want Ansu Fati and Dembele to be 100% fit. I don't want anyone else. Like, I don't want Sané, I don't want Gnabry, I don't want Adeyemi, I don't want like Sancho. I don't want any winger out there in the world but Ansu Fati and Dembele. These are two players who are very special. They can cause so much danger on the wings, and it could bring Barcelona and make them become a very dominant team. And then the last question, what players do you think we are sure to sign from January? I have no idea. It's very uncertain because we don't know Barcelona's finances. But if there was a signing that I would say that Barcelona should go for, it would be Adeyemi. Moving on to question number 17, coming from AJ again, which is the second question. He has asked, as much of a world-class player he already is at his age, the only reason I would want Erling Haaland is if Mbappe goes to Madrid, ignite that El Clasico rivalry again, and I don't want them to both play at Real Madrid. So yeah, it's true. Like, there's a slim chance that Haaland and Mbappe could actually play in the same team, which would be at Real Madrid. But I just don't. Again, it's a slim chance. Like, we know that Real Madrid has built the Galacticos before, so we're not going to say that this is impossible. It would be scary, but yeah. If I saw Mbappe and Haaland face Barcelona, like, please, like, I would please turn off my TV. I'm gonna go do something else and just let me know about the scoreline later, because I would not waste my time to see that, and especially if they actually click, right? But I'm just joking. But I don't think that Haaland would go to Real Madrid if he knew that Mbappe is going to be at Real Madrid, because I think that Haaland wants to be in a project on his own. When he knows that him and Mbappe are going to be the top two best players in the world eventually, in about 3 or 4 years. Haaland knows that. And I think that Haaland does want to be at a team where he is the focal point of that team. And to be very honest, like, I'm not being biased here, but I think that the best club that could suit Haaland, in order for him to be the focal point, right, to be the star, like the wow, like, oh my God, like, let's take pictures of the player, it would be at Barcelona. I think that at Barcelona he can really work wonders, and especially with players like Ansu, Dembele. Please, like if Ansu, Haaland, and Dembele play in that front three, it's going to be something so worth watching. Even if you're a Madrid fan or a Juventus fan or Inter Milan fan, Man U, City fan, like you're going to want to watch Barcelona. It's going to be amazing. Moving on to question number 18, and it does say here, coming from Java Uli Grant. He has asked, what are the main differences between Koeman's Barcelona and Xavi's so far? If I could basically summarize this into a short answer, right? I would say this. The main difference between Koeman's Barcelona and Xavi's Barcelona is that Xavi's Barcelona are much more hyperactive. And that's very important because the Barcelona that we saw under Koeman, they were slow in terms of the passes, the movement, the goals, the way of thinking. Everything was slow. And we can't have a Barcelona like that. Like, that's not going to get you nowhere. Like, to be very honest, like, I do not even care if Barcelona becomes like a horizontal passing team. Like, I don't care if Barcelona make horizontal passes and you see Busquets making all of these horizontal that doesn't matter. What matters is the speed of the ball. If you can move the ball left and right fast, like quick, like let's move it this way, now let's attack. If you can do that, that's fine. Like, that's a Barcelona that can be very effective. Xavi wants to bring that at Barcelona. He wants a Barcelona that can move very quickly, a team that can press quick, a team that can pass quick, a team that can move quick. We need a Barcelona that can, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to move the ball fast, because that is what Guardiola's Barcelona was. Is a Barcelona squad that was hyperactive, very attentive, very motivated to win this game. Like, we need something like that. And that is the biggest difference, is that Xavi's Barcelona is hyperactive, and the only reason why they're hyperactive is because they know what type of way they should be playing. Like, when you know, right? When you know the answers towards a test, right? When you know exactly what you're going to be doing in that test, are you not going to be finishing faster than not knowing the answers towards that test? You're going to be finishing faster. You're going to be quicker, but you're going to be like, okay, I can do this. I know that. Check, boom, done. 100%. A plus. That's basically the biggest difference between Xavi's Barcelona and Koeman's Barcelona. Now moving on to question number 19. That is coming from Matthew Mahan Lal. I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying these names right. I'm sorry, Matthew, but I'm going to answer your question right now. He has asked, do you really believe that Xavi will bring the best out of Dembele? Yes, I do think that Xavi will. Xavi values Dembele. He wants this player to stay, and that's basically it. We know that Xavi is a big fan of wide wingers, and I think, and you just look at how Dembele performed against Benfica. He was very dangerous. It was a Dembele that we were just like, oh my god, can we not just get this like every weekend? Like, we want to see a hyperactive Dembele, a fit Dembele, because the way that he was causing headaches and giving Barcelona more opportunities to find that goal inside the box, it was amazing. Moving on to question number 20, and Visca El Catalunya has asked, thoughts on the future of Barcelona. Which position do you think we have locked down for the next 5 to 10 years? And which position do you think we should invest in order to have a player locked down for the next years? So what position do I think we have locked in for the next 5 to 10 years? I would say the midfield. All parts of the midfield. The central defensive midfield position and the interiors. That is going to be locked in for the next 12 years. Because Gavi, Pedri, Frankie, Nico, they are all very young. As for what position we need to invest in, I would say that the center back area, we need to highly invest in that area, and the forward line, we need to highly invest in a number 9. I would say Haaland if we could. Haaland. I want to invest in a player like Haaland, and I will also invest in a player like I have no idea. Like, there's so many center backs. I would say De Ligt under a great functioning team, he would be one of the best center backs in the world again. Do not tell me that De Ligt is now world class, that they lost against Chelsea 4-0, and that he's trash. I don't want to hear that. I just don't. Like, every player is going to perform bad. As good as you are, every player is going to perform bad if you're under a bad project, if your manager does not know what they're doing. So De Ligt has been experiencing that since he arrived at Juventus, and I think that if the opportunity arrives, let's bring that center back in. And then we also do have another player like Koundé, another center back that I really do love. Moving on to question number 21, and this is coming from Kid Goku. What other sports do you like? I like a lot of sports. I like basketball, football is pretty fun, but I think that if I were to rank it, I would say soccer first by a mile, basketball second. Um, I will put football third, fourth baseball. But when it comes to me actually playing, like what would I be willing to play, I would say soccer first, of course, and then boxing. Boxing is amazing. I love boxing. It's healthy for you. I love learning how to fight, and so it's an art. Like, I love doing that. Moving on to question number 21. This is coming from Marvin question mark question mark. He has asked, what would you recommend in order to improve our defense in order for it to be solid under Xavi Hernandez? What would I recommend? Just a better understanding between every defender in that defensive line. And if we could invest on another center back, I would invest in either De Ligt or Koundé. I want players like Umtiti, Lenglet to be out, and for Gerard Piqué to eventually take that step down. So I'm going to be answering another question coming from Kid Goku, and he has asked, if you can go back in time to see any Barcelona match in the best seat, what match would it be? So this is a very interesting question because there's so many matches where I wish I could have been there. And I would call out two games because I can't just give you one from these two. I wish I could go back to that match between Barcelona and Real Madrid when Barcelona won 5-0 against Real Madrid, when Barcelona were at the peak of their powers. Under Pep Guardiola, I wish I was there, and to see that in person, that would be like the best experience in the world. But I would also like to be in one of the worst Barcelona teams that has ever. Well, I would not say one of the worst, but it was not the best Barcelona. But I wish I was at the Camp Nou when Barcelona won against PSG 6-1 and they came back. Just the atmosphere, the environment, the feeling of coming back and cheering with other fans and seeing every Barcelona fan being so excited and screaming and crying. That would be a scene. I wish I was in that scene and just basically taking off my shirt and then like, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I wish I was in those two matches like at the Camp Nou. So now moving on towards the last two questions, and this is coming from Afan Sheikh Afan Sheikh with an H. He has asked, tell us about yourself a bit, how you got into watching and supporting Barcelona, and why and how you started your channel, and a bit about yourself, if you feel comfortable sharing with it. Yeah, so basically the only reason why I even wanted to make this type of video so you guys can like know who I am, because I don't want you guys to just think that I'm just someone who speaks through a microphone and I just talk about Barcelona. Like I'm human too. Like I could talk to you guys, but he's basically asking, tell us a bit about yourself. So I'm 24 years old. I'm in school. I like Barcelona. I was born in California, to be more specific, in San Francisco. I'm a very outgoing person. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I can be friends with everybody. What else? How you got into watching and supporting Barcelona? I first started watching Barcelona back in 2009. I was like 10 years old, 11 years old. I remember going to LA, and I think I was at La Pulga. I don't know what the hell. I don't know where I was at, but I was basically in LA, and I remember watching like a small TV, like those small TVs that have the antenna on top. I remember watching that game with some people. I don't remember because I was like 10, 11 years old, but I was there in LA. I was there for a trip, and I remember watching on that TV, Barcelona was playing against Manchester United in the 2009 final. And I remember, like, before I got into that room where the TV was at, there were so many people out there wearing red and blue shirts, and I'm like, why is everyone wearing red and blue shirts? And of course, those were Barcelona jerseys, but at that time, I did not even know what Barcelona was. And I'm like, wow, why is everyone wearing the same thing, right? It was new to me because I was so young. And I saw Barcelona play against Manchester United, and I saw Messi score a header, and I'm like, wow, like he's like 5'2", 5'3", and he's just scored a header against a center back that was like 6 feet tall, 6 feet and 3 inches tall. Like, wow, that's amazing. And then he was holding his blue boot and he was kissing it. I'm like, who is this guy? And then the commentator was saying, Messi, Messi, Messi. And I'm like, that's his name, Messi? Like, Messi? What doesn't Messi mean like there's a mess? Like, there's stuff around. I'm like, that's his name. I'm like, is that not Diego Milito, right? Because Diego Milito was also another player that was very um popular at that time, but it was Messi, and that's when I first saw Messi. I'm like, wow, this player plays amazing. And then I saw highlights on Google, YouTube. I'm like, who is Messi? And then I saw Messi play. I'm like, this guy is awesome. And it was such a moment for me to consume, right? To be like, wow, like this is what football is. There's a player named Messi, and he is considered as a very talented player. Like I was fanboying, and that's how I became a Barcelona fan, because that's the first player and team that I watched. And then that's how I became a Barcelona fan. And then moving on towards the last question, and that is coming from Promtux Granji Jackson. He has asked, how can we interact with you directly on social media? So you guys can contact me on Instagram. Don't call me or something like on IG. Don't try to call me or any of that, because that's like coming in my way, because sometimes I have to use my phone, like posting on Instagram, putting those updates when it comes to like the pictures and stuff like that. But you can DM me on Instagram, you can message me on Twitter, you can try and like message me on, like, I don't know what else, like on YouTube. You just comment on like on the comment sections. You can do that, but try to DM me, try to message me on Twitter. I'll try to get to you guys' messages, because I do get a lot, and I try to like speak with you guys as much as possible. I really do, but just try, right? Or you can try to comment on my Instagram post and be like, hey, I just sent you a DM, or hey, I just tweeted at you, can you answer my question, can you talk to me? And I'll try it, right? But yeah, you can do that on Instagram or on Twitter. It's at Barca Media _ no, it's at Barca _media _ that's my Instagram, and that's also my Twitter. So that is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona video. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Thank you guys for posting your guys' questions in that post. Hopefully I get to make this type of video again, maybe in about 4 or 5 months, give you guys some updates on where we're at. Hopefully we can talk about Barcelona playing in the semifinal or in the quarterfinal. So should be a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video.